Hello guys, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's class we are going to discuss about two important topics of haloalkanes and haloarenes. That is about the mechanism of nucleophilic substitution involved in haloalkanes. Okay, so nucleophile is normally a substance or a compound or an ion which attacks the electron-rich center. So in cases what happens is, as I said in the previous videos, halogens which are present in the haloalkane creates a dipolar bond which results in carbon forming a carbocation when the chlorine or halogen which is present is removed. So that carbocation is nothing but an electron deficient species. So therefore what happens is the nucleophile attacks that electron-less center and forms a complete compound. So usually this reaction takes place in two steps. One is called SN1 mechanism and the other one is called SN2 mechanism. So SN1 and SN2 is nothing but substitution nucleophilic unimolecular, substitution for S, N nucleophilic unimolecular 1. SN2 means substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. Okay, so this reactions involves certain number of steps where SN2 reactions takes place in single step, whereas SN1 mechanism takes place in two steps. So we'll discuss those two today. So first one is, we'll start with SN2 mechanism. So why am I doing SN2 first is because this reaction takes place in a single step and it has a simple substrate reacting. So what happens in SN2 mechanism is, so SN2 mechanism is a process in a mechanism where nucleophile attacks the halogen or a haloalkane from the opposite side of the halogen group. Like if you consider this carbon atom, if I write this in 3D, what happens is two bonds will be in plane. Okay, so let us say these are the two bonds. One is of hydrogen. This wedge bond is showing the hydrogen present above the plane, and the dash bond which is on be after the plane, or that is away from the plane or below the plane, and we have a halogen atom present over here. Okay, so this is the normal structure of a carbon compound with a tetrahedral geometry. So when we add a OH minus or a nucleophile, what happens is it can attack from two sides, either from this side or it can attack from this side. Okay, so if I take its geometry, it is such as like this. So these are the three compounds. This is the CHCl3 compound where we have three hydrogens, those are in the whites, carbon in black and the halogen group in green. So this is the structure which I have written here. This is the hydrogen which is present above the plane, and this hydrogen is the hydrogen which is below the plane with written in dash bond, and these two are in one plane. Okay, so this is the OH molecule which is nothing but the OH minus bonds which is attacking the species. So what happens is always a nucleophile attacks opposite that of the leaving group. So here, as I said, chlorine is a halogens of the better leaving group. So if this is the leaving group, the OH minus should attack from the opposite side, from this side. Okay, so when the OH minus attacks from the opposite side that of the nucleophile, that type of mechanism is called SN2 mechanism. Okay, so the mechanism in which the incoming nucleophile or the attacking nucleophile attacks the carbon atom from the opposite direction of the leaving group. So if this is a leaving group, the opposite direction of the nucleophile which is attacking will be in this direction. If this is a nucleophile, this is the halogen present, the nucleophile will be attacking from the bottom. Okay, so this type of mechanism is called SN2 mechanism. So what really happens in this SN2 mechanism is, when we subject this carbon tetrachloride, CHCl3, or that is nothing but chloroform, to a nucleophile such as OH minus, when we treat, when we treat CHCl3 with OH minus ion, we have observed certain reactions of CHCl3 with OH minus ion. What does it give? It gives us alcohol, that is CH3OH. So this is our reaction where our Cl group will be removed. Okay, so now how does this mechanism takes place? We are going to learn about the mechanism of this reaction. So this reaction happens in a single step, as I said earlier. So we'll take the step of this mechanism, that is step 1. Okay, So what happens in this step is, we will consider the carbon atom in this manner, hydrogen and this wedge bond hydrogen in this way, and we'll consider the Cl in the perpendicular direction. Let us just imagine that is in the particular direction of this. Okay. When we attack the OH minus ion, when we leave the OH minus ion or the nucleophile to attack, it attacks the carbon from the opposite side, that of the leaving group. Okay, so now this chlorine is our leaving group. So this is ready to leave the carbon atom. So this reaction involves formation of new bond and breaking of old bond. Okay, it involves breaking of old bond and formation of new bond. So once this is happening, what happens is, we get an intermediate where carbon has 3 of this hydrogen in one plane. What happens is, if you consider the structure, the 3 hydrogen present is away from the chlorine atom, right? So these 3 hydrogens are present away from the chlorine atom. When the nucleophile is attacking from this side, these 3 hydrogen align themselves in the single plane. So these 3 start to settle in a single plane which is perpendicular to the plane of the compound. So if I write it, so it will be like H, H and H. So at this particular condition, what happens is, it forms an intermediate where we have a dotted bond with chlorine, which is a breaking of bond, and we have a bond newly formed by OH minus. Okay, so this type of bond, in this particular condition, carbon is now bonded with 5 atoms. Okay, carbon is now bonded with 5 atoms where it has a 3 hydrogen in a single plane. Since this carbon with 5 bonds is unstable, it is very difficult to isolate that particular carbon atom. So therefore, once it is completely done, what happens is, we create a bond between carbon and OH and we remove the Cl minus. Once the bond is done, once the OH minus is started to fit in, what happens is the Cl minus will leave the reaction. So Cl minus will be completely removed, and what happens is these 3 hydrogen will be taking direction away from the nucleophile. So instead of like this, it will be reverse of this. So I'm just rotating in order to show that this is moving on the other side. So this will be like this. Okay. So now OH1 is already bonded with our carbon atom. So this is how the reaction takes place. So here we have completely removed our halogen. So this carbon hydrogen will be in the plane. This hydrogen will be above the plane. This hydrogen will be below the plane. And we have OH molecule in the plane of reaction by removing our Cl minus. So this type of mechanism is called SN1 mechanism. So in this SN1 mechanism, what really happens, if you consider, is a methyl chloride, when subjected to nucleophilic substitution, the incoming nucleophile attacks the carbon atom from the opposite side from that of the leaving group, which results in an intermediate where carbon is bonded with 5 atoms, where it involves 3 atoms of hydrogen single bonded, and partially formed bond between carbon and OH, and partially broken bond between carbon and chlorine. So I'll just consider this in white mark. So this is partially broken. So this is partially forming bond. Okay, so we have partially broken bond and we have a partially forming bond, which later on complete leftover of this chlorine atom, we get methyl alcohol, which when compared with the previous methyl chloride has a reverse configuration. Therefore, this SN1 mechanism results in inversion of configuration. So what is this inversion of configuration? We'll learn more about this in the stereochemical aspects. First, we'll just consider it has an inversion in configuration, that is, presence of OH minus in the methanol is opposite to that of the chlorine which was present in the methyl chloride. Okay, so this reaction is called SN1 mechanism, that is substitution of nucleophile. So why exactly it is called unimolecular? Is called 2SN2 mechanism. So why is it exactly called SN2 mechanism? Is the rate of this reaction depends upon the incoming nucleophile. The rate of this reaction depends upon the incoming nucleophile and also on the substrate methyl chloride. Rate of the reaction which undergoes in SN2 mechanism involves depending upon concentration of the OH minus ion and also on the concentration of methyl chloride ion. So therefore rate of this reaction is proportional to concentration of OH minus ion power 1 and concentration of CH3Cl. So therefore if you add the powers of these two, that is nothing but 2. So since this is as of power 2, this type of rate of reaction is called second order reaction. That is, rate of this reaction depends upon two molecules. Therefore, we name it as bimolecular substitution nucleophilic reaction. Okay, so this is a nucleophilic substitution of bimolecular reaction. So this is the mechanism of SN2 process. So SN2 mechanism takes place in a single step. Remember, SN2 mechanism takes place in single step and the rate of reaction depends upon both OH minus ion and CH3Cl. Okay, so now the order of this reactivity of this compound is in such a way that more the number of hydrogen atom, more rapidly the reaction takes place. That is, if you replace one of the hydrogen by CH3 molecule, if you replace one of the hydrogen by CH3, the reaction slows down a bit. That is because this CH3 creates an environment that is filling up the space of OH minus attacking site. Okay, so therefore, if more the number of hydrogen atom attached to the carbon which is bonded with chlorine, greater the speed rate of the reaction. If more the number of CH3 attached to this carbon, rate of the reaction slows down. So therefore, what we can say is CH3Cl is more reactive than CH3 twice C, CH3, CH2, Cl, that is dimethyl methanol methyl chloride and nothing but secondary alcohol, secondary methyl chloride, and then we have CH3 twice CHCl and which is much more greater than CH3 thrice CCl. So this is tertiary butyl chloride. Okay, so this is about the rate of order of reactivity, that is methyl chloride, this alkyl chloride is more reactive than primary alkyl chloride, which is more reactive than secondary alkyl chloride, which is more reactive than tertiary alkyl chloride. So more the number of CH3 molecule attached to the carbon which is involved in bonding with halogen, lesser will be its reactivity. Okay, so this is about SN2 mechanism. Next we'll discuss about SN1 mechanism. So why is this necessary for SN1 mechanism is, if you observe over here, we said this mechanism of this reaction with 3 methyl groups attached to carbon of CCl, its reaction takes place in slow order. So therefore we need to find out a reaction in which that particular mechanism or the mechanism in which this reaction takes place faster or rapidly. So therefore we came across the second type of mechanism, that is SN1 mechanism. So what happens in this SN1 mechanism is, this mechanism especially takes place in 2 steps. SN1 mechanism takes place in 2 steps and this rate of reaction depends upon only one molecule. So we'll see that what happens here. So for that, let us consider a molecule of CH3 thrice CCl. Okay, CH3 thrice CCl. So that if you write its structure, what it looks as is C with CH3, wedge bond of CH3, dash bond of CH3, sorry, wedge bond, dash bond, and one Cl molecule. It looks like exactly like this. So if you consider these carbon atoms as black balls as carbons, and these are hydrogen and this is chlorine. So the carbon has one CH3 at the top, one at the front and one at the behind of the plane, and we have chlorine atom in the plane with respect to this methyl group. Okay, so this is the tertiary butyl chloride complex. So in this compound, what happens is, when we subject this tertiary butyl chloride for nucleophilic substitution, the OH minus ion, which is supposed to attack the carbon from the opposite side, that of the chlorine. As I said, OH minus ion should attack the carbon from the opposite side to that of the leaving group. So when the OH minus ion starts to attack this carbon from the opposite side, if it starts to attack the carbon from the opposite side, what happens over here is, the three methyl groups present bonded with the carbon atom, the three methyl groups, so this is the three methyl groups, the three methyl groups present bonded with the carbon atom creates a shielding effect. That is, they create a kind of cloud which resists the attack of oxygen atom. So these three methyl groups present creates a cloud which resists the attack of OH minus ion from the opposite side of the leaving group. So now, for this nucleophilic reaction to happen, it has to take place only when it can attack from the front side of the leaving group. Okay, it cannot attack from the opposite side, that of the leaving group. So therefore it has to attack from this side. But we have a problem here. If we have to attack this from this side, we have to remove this first, right? So we have to create a space in order to get this attached to the carbon atom. So therefore we come across two steps for the SN1 mechanism. So for the SN1 mechanism, reaction takes place in two steps, where the first step involves formation of carbocation. That is, if we consider this CH3 molecule, and we have Cl minus, it reacts with the protonic solvent. And one more point, in order to take place a SN1 mechanism, there should be a protonic solvent. The protonic solvent is something like water along with acid. Okay, if we have protonic solvents such as H2 and H+, then only we can carry out SN1 mechanism. So the H+ present in the protonic solvent removes the Cl minus ions, creating a carbocation. This Cl minus ion leaves with the protonic solvent and forms CH3 with carbon having a positive charge. So this type of carbon is called carbocation. Carbon with a positive charge is called carbocation. So this carbocation is stable if it is completely tertiary. So order of stability for a carbocation is, tertiary carbocation is always more stable than secondary carbocation, which is more stable than primary carbocation. Okay, so that is the order of stability of carbocation. Since this carbocation formed here is tertiary carbocation, this carbocation is stable along with the formation of Cl minus ion. Okay, so now what have we created is, in the first step we have completely removed the H+ ion and we created an empty plus bond for carbon atom. Since we have created a carbocation, now we can attack this carbocation by our nucleophile. So that is CH3 with carbocation, and the incoming OH minus ion can attack this carbocation from the side where the leaving group left this methyl tertiary butyl chloride. So that is, our OH minus group will be attacking from the side of the leaving group and forms alcohol. So this gives tertiary butanol. This gives us tertiary butyl alcohol CH3OH. So this is the SN1 mechanism. So now for the one present on the SN1 is, this reaction completely depends upon the first step of the mechanism. This mechanism completely depends upon only on the first step. This is step 1, this is step 2. This completely depends upon the first step. That is because this reaction is a slow process. This reaction is a slow process and reversible. This reaction is slow process and is reversible. That is why the reaction or rate of this reaction depends upon the concentration of tertiary butyl chloride only, but not on OH minus. what we observed in the SN1 case. Okay. So why is that? That is because if the concentration of this tertiary butyl chloride decreases, what happens is the Cl- which has left to form a carbocation gets binded again with the carbocation and forms our tertiary butyl chloride. If the concentration of tertiary butyl chloride is more and more will be the formation of carbocation. Okay, so if in case this is more in concentration, then the reaction moves forward. If it is less, then the reaction gets backward and there will be no formation of carbocation, which later results in no formation of alcohol at all. Therefore, this reaction completely depends upon the concentration of tertiary butyl chloride taken. So this is the process of SN1 mechanism. For the SN1 mechanism, what we observe further is more the number of CH3 groups present, to the carbon with chlorine bond, more will be its stability and more will be the reaction rate. So in this case, in the previous case of SN2 mechanism, if the compound is tertiary butyl compound, then the rate of reaction will be less. But in case of tertiary butyl compound in SN1 mechanism, rate of reaction is higher. So therefore, tertiary alkyl halide is more reactive than secondary alkyl halide, which will be more reactive than primary alkyl halide in under SN1 mechanism. So this is the SN1 mechanism. So I hope you have understood this completely. And this reaction is also observed for allylic alcohol, haloalkane, and arylic haloalkane. We'll discuss those more in the haloarenes part. So these are the two important mechanisms of SN2, SN1 mechanism. So if you have understood this concept, please do like to my video and subscribe to my channel in order to get more updates of new videos. Thank you for watching.